One independent computer repair company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, Papillion, Des Moines, and across the country via the Schrock desk. This is Compute This.
Good morning, folks, and welcome into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. Like the big voice man said, I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company, for better or for worse. With 4 locations to help you out when your computer's having trouble, when you need to look at a new system, maybe you're looking to upgrade what you've got, we can handle it all over at Schrock, the OG Schrock Innovations, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road in Lincoln, Nebraska. Then in Omaha, number 2, 168th and Burke Street, across the street from the Village Point Mall, where the rent is slightly cheaper. Slightly cheaper. And then the number 3 in Papillion after that. The landlord gave us a great deal, said, open up Papillion and we have a building right over here. We'll give you a sweetheart deal on it. And we weren't really ready to do it yet, but we did it anyway. And I have to tell you, that service center, there's something special about it because it's not the biggest performer. It's not the biggest service center. Like it's got 12 bench spots. It builds everything for the company. All of our computers come out of Papillion from the warehouse there. But the energy that comes out of that location is just, it's something to behold. Just yesterday, got a picture. A customer came in to talk to Josh. Josh is one of our newest employees. Literally, he is like 3 weeks into his training period, into a 90-day training period. And a customer came in and gave him not 1 dozen, not 2 dozen, but 3 dozen cookies. This kid is a rail. What's he going to do with 3 dozen cookies? And she wrote him a thank you note about what a blessing. You can see it all on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. But, that's the kind of energy that comes out of that place. Just an amazing shop. Then, of course, the newest Schrock Innovations, 9500 University Avenue in West Des Moines, Iowa, where we decided we were going to have an experiment. Did we catch lightning in a bottle in Nebraska? Omaha, Lincoln, similar population centers, structures, similar ages, similar demographics, similar incomes. Like everything is the same between the two cities for the most part, similar concentration of population. So yeah, we did all right. What happens when we take that Schrock model and we stick it into a completely different style population center with different demographics, different people? What happens? Well, you get baby Schrock. 9500 University Avenue in West Des Moines, Iowa. Not baby because it's small. We didn't know what to expect, so we built it big. It's got 42 bench spots. It's got more bench spots than any other shop in the company. It is your technology island oasis in West Des Moines, Iowa. 888-250-2091. That's the number to join us on the program. Compute This is recorded live Sunday mornings at 7 a.m. So if you want to call into the show and have a chance to win that $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate, give us a call at 888-250-2091 between 7 and 8 a.m. and you'll get on the air, probably. Unless the lines are full, then you won't. But right now, there's nobody on the line, so you'd probably get on the air. I'm just saying. So 888-250-2091. If you missed last week's show, last week we told you all about the Ultimate Upgrade Sale. We went into some details on it last week, a little bit deeper than we had in previous weeks. We also told you a little bit about AutoGPT, which I've been messing with AutoGPT all week. I finally got my Pinecone API key, which I know is gobbledygook to everybody out there, but it was a prerequisite that allows me to run AutoGPT, which is different from ChatGPT. AutoGPT can run in continuous autonomous mode. And I've got some stories for the Aftershock for you today. That thing went off the rails, and it tried to launch an entire new marketing campaign for the company and then execute it. It tried to actually publish things. And if I would have given it one more API key, I think it would have taken over the world. But it would have done it in a really poor way. I'm asking it to do basic things and it can't do basic things. And I ask it to write a commercial for me just to see what it would do. And it turns around and makes like some giant, it wants to do a tweet storm. I don't understand. You go to ChatGPT and ask it to write a commercial and write a jingle and it just writes it. No big deal. AutoGPT, when it starts thinking, things kind of go off the rails. So you don't have to worry about it taking over the world just yet, but it is fun to play with. Also, we discussed different types of antivirus last week. This was probably one of the more popular segments that we've done in a long time. As you guys know, we recommend Sophos antivirus at Schrock because it is AI-based. There are AI components on the back end that automate the security of your computer, that keep up with threats and identify threat-like activities Have you ever been someplace like you're pumping gas somewhere at night, whatever, and you just have that feeling like you get the hairs on the back of your neck stand up and you start looking around and you notice that your subconscious picked up on something that your conscious mind was ignoring because you were just grumbling about the price of gas? It's kind of like that. Sophos is in the background with an artificial intelligence capability that detects when things aren't quite right. And then it looks deeper into that situation, and it has the brain power to do that and to keep you safe. Now, it's not going to go ahead and try to, well, obviously the safest way to keep your computer safe is if I erase all of your data. I mean, that's what everyone's afraid of with AI, right? Just erase the humans, keep everybody safe. We can serve them all if they're dead. It's great. Well, it's not quite like that. It's just antivirus. But then there's a cost to it because it is something that is a continuous service that goes on that has a cost to maintain. There's an annual subscription cost for Sophos, just like any other paid security software. However, there are free options out there. How do they stack up against Sophos? If you had to choose a free option because of budgetary constraints, you're on Social Security, you have literally zero disposable income. I know how it is for you right now out there. If that's the case, if that's the situation you're in, which free one should you be running? Which one is better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick? Because there are definitely some where the sharp stick might be preferable. So we wanted to make sure we broke those down for you. So that was a really popular segment last week. If you missed it, you can check that out over on our website at schrockinnovations.com. Just click on radio show. You can watch the video there or listen to the audio and the podcast, whatever floats your boat. 888-250-2091. Coming up on the program today, guys, this is the final week of the Ultimate Upgrade Sale, and I can't emphasize this enough. I don't know, you don't realize how hard it has been to keep up with you guys on this one. This year was very different than previous years, so we're going to talk about that a little bit on the program today. Also, coming up on the show, the FBI says now you need to have USB condoms. Yep. Don't go plugging your tip into public holes. Don't do that. You need to have protection on that USB plug before you go to the airport. We're going to tell you about USB condoms on a Sunday morning show, Saturday afternoon show. Oh, boy. Corporate Services is being rebranded at Schrock into Schrock Business. So we're pulling a Meta, you see. No, I'm just kidding. Not quite like that. There's no headsets involved. And also, I don't know if you noticed this, but this is something that I noticed on my system. My Firefox settings were changed without my permission. My search settings were changed. And I wanted to make sure that I talk to you about this a little bit on the program so that you can be aware of it, because I know a lot of you also use Firefox out there. 888-250-2091. All right, so let's get this party started. So, Ultimate Upgrade Sale. What is the Ultimate Upgrade? If you've been under a rock, or maybe this is the first time you've ever heard the show ever, welcome. What is the Ultimate Upgrade Sale? The Ultimate Upgrade is throwing away your old piece of junk, tired, worn out, rusted barn doorstop computer and getting a brand new one. That is the ultimate upgrade. Not swapping some memory or putting a different hard drive in, or maybe we could put a better processor in, or maybe we should do a whole motherboard and a processor and memory, maybe a hard drive too. No, the ultimate upgrade is an entirely new computer, new power supply, new housing, new motherboards, new everything. Nothing pulled from your old computer from your recycle. In exchange for that, you get the computer at an unbelievable $499. To put this in perspective, guys, I don't have to tell you that there's been some inflation. There's been some things inflating. Last year, the ultimate upgrade was $100 more expensive. It was $599. A lot of that was supply chain related. Some of the things for us have normed out a little bit. Unfortunately, they've all normed out to the upside, so but at least we know what we can get now. So we know that we aren't going to have to pay rush shipping. We can order a pallet of something and it'll show up. Those kind of things. That's kind of nice. So what we did this time around with that stability, that additional, knowledge that we would be able to get things, we talked to our suppliers in advance, months in advance, and said, listen, we're going to need 100 computer cases and 100 motherboards and 100 copies of Windows 11 just for the desktop builds. What's the best price you can give me if I buy 100 as opposed to if I buy, 5 or 10 or whatever? And so, they didn't give us like huge discounts, but, 3, 5, 7% discounts, not bad. So, we were able to lower our costs a little bit. Rather than using that, everyone says right now, this is the refrain. You have people on the right coming at you saying inflation is terrible and it's all Joe Biden's fault. And you have people on the left coming at you saying inflation is terrible and it's because these evil corporations are padding their profit margins. Okay? Both sides might have a grain of truth in that, because we could have just kept the price up at $599. We probably would have sold 5 or 6 fewer computers. You'd have paid me, $100 more times 100 computers, and that's just the desktops. You factor in laptops, now you're closer to 250, 300 computers. That's a lot of $100 bills. And then I could use that to help pay my staff or do whatever. What we did instead is we lowered the cost down to $499. At that price, we're making less than we would like to make on a new computer, to be brutally honest, because we do have to stay in business and pay the electric bills and the rent and everything as well. But at that price, we felt that is the price at which we would be able to attract the largest number of new Schrock customers, people who have never purchased a computer from us before. Lots of people have us fix their computers, but choosing where you purchase your computer, a lot of people have brand loyalty to HP or to Dell or to Toshiba or Sony or whatever you had before, and I always had, or maybe you had a bad experience with a brand. Maybe I had a bad experience with a Dell, so I'm never buying a Dell again. I hate to say it, but I mean, it could have just been that computer, for example. So if that's the case, there's a lot of customers out there in our database that don't actually own Schrock computers, and we want to convert them. We want to make them Schrock customers. We want to show them how much better or how much different it is to have a modular desktop. And I won't go into what all that means. We've done that in previous shows. Or a solid state laptop, same thing there. We wanted to reduce the barrier of entry. That's number one. Now, number two, the other thing is, while supply chain situations have resolved a little bit, we don't know what demand is going to be. So normally for the ultimate upgrade, we get a special laptop that's different than the other laptops that we normally have, and we build a special desktop that's different from our normal lineup, which requires us to order different parts that we normally don't put in our computers. So less expensive parts, to be honest. So what happens if we order 100 of all this stuff and you don't show up and we're just stuck with it? Well, we don't put it in our normal computer, so we're literally stuck with it. That wouldn't be good. So to reduce our risk further, we said, let's just use components that we would normally put into our builds. And we extended that by saying, let's just offer our normal builds at a discounted price when you trade in a computer. So now, coming full circle, when you come in for the ultimate upgrade, you trade in some computer. We don't care what it is, if it's a laptop or a tablet or a desktop, if it's rusted, if it's missing half its parts, if it's just a shell. We don't really care because we're not doing anything with it. We're literally sending it off to Sadoff Recycling, who is grinding it up into little bits or melting it down or smelting it like in the Terminator, and then it goes into new products and yay, rah, rah, kumbaya. So we don't really care what you trade in because we're not going to do anything with it. All we're trying to do is, number one, be a good corporate steward. We're trying to make sure that we are recycling more every year than we are producing, and this sale is one of the ways that we achieve that. That's one of the ways we get. Last year it was 3 circus elephants full of recycles. We didn't fill up the elephants. That would be cruel, but the equivalent weight of 3 circus elephants. I got to be clear here. I don't need a PETA complaint, okay? So 3 circus elephants worth of computer recycles in a year, way more than we produced. Older computers are heavier, so it's kind of cheating, right? Because the older computers weigh more, so we can produce 2 new ones for the weight of 1 old one. It's kind of neat. But one of the ways we get that weight up is through a recycling event like this. That's number one. Number two, the discounts are huge. So as I mentioned, we're selling the regular computers that we normally sell. This is the Boundless and the Intrepid. They sell it for normally the Intrepid's like $800. If you walked in the door and said, I want to buy an Intrepid today, I have no trade, I want to buy an Intrepid, it's $800. Or you can trade in some old piece of garbage that you have laying around the house that your wife probably wants you to get rid of anyway. Take the kids' computer. They don't need it. They're just getting into mischief on TikTok anyway. Take their computer away. Trade it in and get a $300 discount and get the exact same computer. The exact same laptop. Spec for spec. That's why this year has been so popular, and it's been really different. Normally during the Ultimate Upgrade sale, we have a lot of people who come in, they do the trade-in, they buy the computer, but they don't add a lot of stuff on. that's been totally different. People have been customizing these. People have been tricking them out. It's like a bonanza because you're getting a computer that's normally $800 for $500, and you're thinking, this is amazing. I'm going to throw, it's only $50 to double the size of the hard drive. Well, shoot, why wouldn't you? That'll last me 5 years longer. Or maybe I should double the memory up for another $50. I can double the memory for $50. That's crazy. I can go from 8 gigs to 16 gigs for $15. Heck yeah, let's do it. So we've had a lot of people doing that, adding security software, which is unusual for the ultimate upgrade. So we have a lot of people making very budget-conscious decisions, but also designing the computers to last a really long time, which is super-duper smart. 888-250-2091 is the number to join us on the program. Ultimate Upgrade is going on through the end of the day next Sunday, so you have some time to come in and pick that up still if you'd like. But time is running out. You can check it out on our website at SchrockInnovations.com. You trade in your computer when you pick up the new one, so there's no need to run in with a trade or anything if you're going to buy online. You can just buy online. We know you're going to trade in when you pick it up, and maybe there's a data transfer or something we have to do also for you there. So check it out, SchrockInnovations.com, or call any of the service centers. We're open Monday through Saturday from 10 until 8, Sunday from noon to 5, except Des Moines. We're closed on Sunday, just like Chick-fil-A. 888-250-2091. Quick break, guys, then we're coming back. Patricia, your call is coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations repair technicians also make house calls. Make an appointment and let us bring our award-winning computer support right to your home or business. Schrock Innovations has spent nearly 2 decades working to make your technology life easier, and SchrockInnovations.com is no exception. Now you can order new modular computers and solid-state laptops directly from our website, find innovative new technologies like our modular storage devices, and get free help and tips. Take a look at the specials section to find sales on one-of-a-kind items, display models, refurbished units, and our latest special offers. Swing by the Compute This page to watch TV segments and archived radio shows, or even get one-on-one help through the Schrock Desk. As always, we respect your privacy, so we secure our website with the latest encryption technology and only the most secure payment methods. You can pick up your purchases at any of our 3 service centers or have them shipped directly to your door. SchrockInnovations.com makes technology simple. It's what we do. And now, Compute This Pro tip number 373. Everyone knows we're supposed to back up our computers and then check those backups periodically to make sure they're working. So why don't most people do it? Lots of people have different ideas about what backing up means. Is it copying files to a flash drive? Is it using a fancy backup program? And how do you know it's working anyway? Windows makes backups easy through free software that's already on your computer. Open your control panels and click Update and Security. Select Backup and choose from all of the available options to get a regular, reliable checkup. You'll need something to back up to, like a Schrock modular storage device or some other backup hard drive. Backups usually run once a week, but you can always change the frequency. The best part is that if your backup ever fails, you'll see a notification in the lower right corner by your clock telling you something's up. Backing up your important data has never been easier, so take a moment to back up your computer today. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. Well, we've got really cool bumper music like this. Oh, yeah. And we also fix stuff and sell stuff and, do all the computery things. But during this show, we just have fun. 888-250-2091. Patricia, welcome to the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Hi, Thor. Yes, thanks so much for taking my call.
No sweat.
Yes, I use just Omaha Public Library computers. I don't own a computer myself, and I wondered if you have any tips as far as trying to keep myself secure. I've heard stuff like, you put a little piece of opaque tape in the middle of the screen so that they can't capture your picture through the computer. What about that one?
Well, first off, if you were going to do the Ultimate Upgrade special, I would not try to trade in a computer from the public library.
No.
that might get a little dicey.
I get thrown in jail for that.
But no. As far as one of the things when you're dealing with a public library computer, now I want to say this in general because this should be the general policy for public computers. However, I know it's the policy for the Omaha Public Library System, as well as the Lincoln Public Library System. every day those computers are reset. So you could go in there and you could change anything you want to change on them, and the next morning when those computers reboot, they go back to the way that the administrator intended them to be. So as far as personal data that gets left behind, if you forget to log out of your Omaha World Herald or your Lincoln Journal Star account, for example, and you're like, oh no, I forgot to log out. Don't worry, the next day at worst, it'll log you out by rebooting everything and everything is fine. Now, as far as your personal security, when you're using a public computer, you're using somebody else's computer on somebody else's network. So you have to always make the assumption that everything that you're sending through that network is being monitored. Everything. Keystrokes.
Right.
Passwords. Everything.
So even, how about, this idea of this DuckDuckGo.com? Is that going to do anything for me if I'm using a public library computer?
Gotcha. So if you're using a public computer, for example, let's say you went to Google. Google is still going to ask you to sign into your Google account, and so they can tailor the search results to your specifications. So some people will sign in because they're going to get their Gmail, for example. So they're going to go and sign in and get Gmail. They don't realize that when you log into Gmail, you're logging into your Google account, and therefore everything that you do on the computer during that session is recorded by Google. That's what what you avoid with DuckDuckGo. With DuckDuckGo. There is no recording of your events. There's no signing into an account. There is no long-term record being kept by a big tech company as far as what you did with the computer at that moment.
Okay. And then as far as if someone was trying to use a camera through the computer screen to capture your face or your retina patterns or whatever, will that this center of the screen, is that where that supposedly some secret camera is located?
No, usually the camera is going to be at the top of the screen in the center, or on some Dell models it's actually on the bottom of the screen, which is really fun during the pandemic because, like, if you put the laptop in your lap, you're seeing jowls and you're looking up somebody's nose, Right. And so that was really, I understand they put the camera on the bottom because you're looking down at the screen, so it almost looks like you're looking at the camera. I get it. But boy, it was a bad choice on some laptops, I'll tell you what. But no. So if you want to cover up the camera, you can cover up the camera. I'm not aware of any security threats that are currently stealing biometric data through third-party cameras. But I would point out that when you're in the public library, you're on their closed-circuit camera system anyway, which is just as hackable.
I guess the thing to do is wear dark glasses and a face mask at all times.
And one of those cool vests that confuses facial recognition. Have you seen those online?
I have not.
All right. Thank you for the call, Patricia. I appreciate it. They had these vests, these shirts and vests that you can wear that have a weird pattern on them with like half faces and stuff, and it confuses the AI algorithm so that they can't recognize your face. You just look like a complete idiot walking around with one on, but that's all. It's never stopped a lot of people. Thank you for the call, Patricia. And just like that, you are in the drawing for a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. And right now, your odds of winning are 100%. So if you want to reduce Patricia's odds, you can give us a call as well. 888-250-2091. We're going to take our bottom of the hour break here in just a moment, guys. But when we come back, I want you to stick with me through the bottom of the hour here because the FBI has an important message about your personal digital health. Now you have to wear USB condoms. Before you go plug in your USB device into that airport terminal. When you're sitting at the airport and they've got like the armrest that has a USB port on the side, before you plug into that, or maybe somebody left their cord and you're going to use their cord before you do that, there's something the FBI wants you to know, and we're going to tell you all about it coming up next on Compute This.
Update all of your third-party apps on your computer with Secure Updater. It keeps all your apps running smoothly and helps block viruses. Download it for free today at secureupdater.com. Some people like desktops for their power and upgradability, but nothing rivals a laptop for computing on the go. But why should you have to sacrifice performance for portability? The innovators at Schrock want our customers to have it all, so we created a new kind of laptop, the solid-state laptop from Schrock Innovations. Solid-state laptops are built using the same frame and mainboards as regular laptops, but we've removed half of the moving parts while more than doubling the computer's speed. The result? Laptops that boot to Windows in 6 seconds or less, respond instantly to your commands, and can survive drops that put most laptops into the data recovery lab. Starting at only $4.99, solid-state laptops give you speed, reliability, durability, and performance for the same price most people pay for a cheap disposable laptop. The next time you're looking for a laptop, check out the solid-state laptops at SchrockInnovations.com or visit any of our service centers. Simple, solid, fast technology is what we do at Schrock. Compute this pro tip $299. There are enough mothballed computers in U.S. homes to give one to every man, woman, and child in the country. Many of these computers find their way into landfills where they can leak cadmium, lithium, and other nasty chemicals into the groundwater. Schrock Innovations is very proud of the fact that we recycle more e-waste every year than we create. You can drop off any old or broken computer equipment to our service centers at any time, free of cost. We only charge $15 just for monitors because they are especially difficult to process. No appointment is required, and we accept all computer-related equipment like printers, keyboards, speakers, and accessories. Additionally, the rare earth elements in computers can be recycled right here in the U.S. to reduce our reliance on supplies from foreign countries. Take a moment, drop off your old computer equipment today, and Schrock will make sure it's properly recycled and put to good use right here in the U.S. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, guys. And you see what we did there for you? Even I wasn't prepared to come back because we're giving you more show for your money even. It's the anti-inflation radio show. We even cut some stuff out of the bottom of the hour to get back to you more quickly here on Compute This. Alrighty, thanks for joining us today. 888-250-2091. I appreciate you sticking with us through the break. Let's jump back into those phones real quick before we talk about the FBI and their computer condoms, which is super exciting for Sunday morning church talk, let me tell you what. Yeah. But first, let's talk to Al. Al, welcome to the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Well, first, thanks for taking my call.
No sweat.
And I've got a purchased in the fall of 19, Asus laptop that I got from you gentlemen.
Yeah.
And it was doing fine up till when I turned it on last week. And I was doing the update for the Windows stuff, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me. And I always use the Windows Task Manager to see what's going on, watch the download stuff and the CPU usage thing on that performance screen. So I know when things really stop downloading and when the CPU really stopped doing the install stuff before I do a reboot.
We do the same thing.
And pardon?
I said we do the same thing.
Okay. Well, all of a sudden, it quit doing those things. The Task Manager screen comes up, but nothing is getting updated.
Oh, wow.
Down in I believe it's the CPU performance thing.
Did it come back after the update was finished up?
No.
So it's still, when you open the Task Manager, it just doesn't show you any updated data at all?
Correct. It shows you the normal screen, but on the CPU screen, down at the bottom, it tells you how long the thing has been turned on.
Mm-hmm.
That restarts every time I restart the computer. And it doesn't update dynamically, but if you go away from it and come back, it'll update with a new time.
Gotcha. Okay. So there could be a few... Oh, go ahead.
Well, I spoke with, I believe it was Austin, one day last week, and he had me do the SFC scan now thing.
Right, looking for corrupt Windows.
Had to do that as the administrator. And I figured out how to do that. And it told me it found corrupt files and successfully repaired them, but it did not change the performance.
Interesting. So it's doing the same thing. Okay, so Real quick question, Al. Have we looked at this computer since 2019? Have you had it in for a maintenance check or anything? Have we seen it for any reason?
No.
What's that?
No, we have not.
Okay. So basically, our laptops, the average laptop that you purchase, like a Dell or an HP, is designed to last 18 months. Ours are designed to last between 4 and 6 years. And 2019 to 2023 is year 4. So you're getting to that point. Let's just say you're getting to what's the human equivalent to the 40s, okay? There's going to be some aches and pains that we're going to have to address in that computer to make sure it keeps running the way you want it to run. One of those things could be the first thing we would have thought is the Windows operating system corrupt, because the task manager is a part of that operating system. Now, the other side of this is there could be firmware updates. In fact, I know there are firmware updates for that laptop that have come out since 2019. There was one that came out last week for it. There are other updates that you need to get that are outside of the normal Windows updates that we would take care of during a maintenance checkup for you. Also, the solid state hard drive in the computer, depending how full it is, if your solid state hard drive is slow, basically, if it's running slowly, it's not that that the task manager is not. Well, when I say it's running slowly, a lot of people say, no, it's running fine, but it's supposed to run at 1,200 megabytes a second. So a mechanical hard drive runs at 300. And we have people that come in for maintenance checkups and say, oh, it's working fine. And they're at like 120 megabytes a second. You're like, it's running slower than your old mechanical drive, and you don't care? You didn't notice? So you'd be surprised. Like when we check it out, we'll go through it and make sure that everything is healthy and working in it. Now, the last question I'll have for you, have you kept it under warranty? Is it still under its extended warranty? Okay.
No.
Then, Al, this is just between you and me. I don't want you sharing this with other people. But pro tip, 99% chance something's broken that computer. 99% chance. What I would do before you come in is I would purely coincidentally give us a call at one of the service centers and choose to purchase an extended warranty for $125. It's the same cost as an hour of labor. A maintenance checkup's $95. So, no matter, the cheapest way to get on the bench is $95. So $125, and you get a whole extra year of protection on that. Then when you bring the computer in, and lo and behold, the hard drive seems to not be functioning at its proper speed. Oh, golly, what should we do about that? Oh, I see here you're under warranty, Mr. Al. Let's go ahead and just replace that for you for free. Happy day. Your $300 hard drive replacement just got done for $125. So, I mean, I wouldn't go sharing that strategy with a lot of other people. Actually, I'm just joking. I mean, we're on the radio here, obviously. But, we want our customers to have a good experience with our computers. We want you to stay under warranty forever. Because when situations like this happen, rather than you trying to beat your head against the wall and trying to solve it, wouldn't it be better just to be able to bring it in and be like, this thing's doing something weird, fix it. And just have the expectation of service that you get it fixed. That's what we're trying to do for our customers and for you. So as far as we've kind of reached the limit of the number of things that we can really give you to do at home. In fact, I'm not sure I would have had you do an SFC, but it sounds like you're pretty technically capable, and that's probably the call that Austin made too. Most people wouldn't have figured out the administrator thing. You got past that one pretty easy. But and thank you for the call, Al. I appreciate it. We got you in the drawing here as well for the $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. But I mean, this is one of the reasons why we want you to keep your computers under warranty when you buy them from Schrock. When you get your ultimate upgrade computer, some of you chose to extend the warranty and some of you did not. That's fine. Totally get it. You're buying an inexpensive computer, but it's actually an expensive computer. But an inexpensive computer, why would you? It's like when they ask you, you're buying a DVD and they say, well, you want to spend $5 to put the scratch protection plan on it? And you're like, the DVD is like $20. Why would I spend $5 in case it gets scratched? That's stupid. This is different because the warranties when you extend them at Schrock are refundable. So this would be like, if your DVD doesn't get scratched in the first year, we'll give you your $5 back. Oh, well, that changes things, doesn't it? So if you don't need the extended warranty, so like if Al comes in, if he buys the extended warranty and then he comes into the shop and checks it in and we find nothing is wrong with it, that everything is fine, that it's all in his mind or something, not that it is, Al, I'm just giving you a hard time, then he can cash in his warranty at the end of the year and get his $125 back, or what most customers will do is use it to buy an additional year of warranty. So it works out really well. That's why we want you to keep your stuff under warranty. And Al, I would suggest you give us a call, get it back under warranty, and then bring it in. Maybe wait a day to make it look legit between the two transactions, just so nobody looks at you funny sideways. But then bring it back in. 888-250-2091. So the FBI wants you to have condoms on your USB devices now. What is this about? Okay. First of all, the threat. The threat is inside of a cord. When you have a cord that you're charging your phone with, there's a big end where the USB is, right? And there's a big end that goes into your phone, like a piece you grab onto that you plug into the phone. Some cords have bigger ends than other cords. Some cords are different. Some cords have microchips in the ends that also skim data. Yeah. So if you're traveling and you walk up to one of the stands and they have the cords hanging out of the stand, you can just plug your phone in with the cord. Cords are provided. Don't use the provided cords. They are not to be trusted. So that's just, if you will, charging hygiene, okay? Charging hygiene 101. Don't touch other people's dongles, okay? If the cord is hanging there, if somebody left it there, you can just set it aside and use your own, okay? Number 2, don't plug your cord into public holes, because when you plug, just like they told me in the 80s in my human growth and development class, when you plug into a public hole, you are plugging into everybody else's device that's ever plugged into that hole, if you know what I mean. So don't share public charging USB ports. The USB port itself, it's designed to charge, but it is also designed to transmit data. So when you plug your phone in, you can actually be injecting malware onto your phone from whoever's providing the kiosk at the stand. So think, you're traveling to Hong Kong for business and you get to the airport and you plug your phone in. Do you really think that the Chinese government is not injecting your phone with malware to monitor what you're doing while you're in China? Do you really think? So don't trust. Where do you think all the kiosks are made, guys? Do you really think? Don't trust the ports. So what is a USB condom? A USB condom is basically an adapter that goes in between your USB plug and whatever you're plugging into, whatever public port you're plugging into. What it does is it removes the pins that transmit data. So all it does is transmit charge, power, only power. You cannot transmit data when you're using one of these USB condoms. They're not really called USB condoms. It was just a cool term that ZDNet used for them. But basically they're just USB restrictors. They stop the transmission of data through the end of a USB cable. So long story short, if you're traveling, the safest way to charge your device is with your own cord and a 110 volt, and if you're traveling in Europe, it'd be a 240, but a 110 volt plug that you plug in to an outlet. That's the absolute safest way to do it. If you don't have an available outlet, or you travel a lot and you know that sometimes those outlets can be challenging to find, or they can be in inconvenient locations where you're sitting on the floor by a stinky trash can because you need the power cord. Well, if you want to use one of the USB things, you can just get one of these USB condoms. They sell on Amazon for like $5 for like a pack of 3 or something. And you can get them, you can put them on all your cords, and then you're protected no matter where you plug in, whether it's at a hotel, whether it's at an airport, whether, no matter where you're at, you are protected. 888-250-2091. We're going to take our final break a little bit early because I got a little behind schedule, honestly, with what we need to talk about. We have a rebranding going on at Schrock right now. And I want to talk to you about this because it's kind of, it's one of those duh moments that we've had a few times in Schrock history, and I'm going to share some of those with you. And also, I noticed the other day when I was searching around on Firefox that all of a sudden I was using the Yahoo search engine. Now, people ask me all the time, should I use DuckDuckGo instead of Google? Is it safer? Is it better? Never, ever has anyone ever asked me, should I use Yahoo instead? Is it safer? I mean, that's like saying, should I use the AOL search instead? Is it safe? Nobody does that. But all of a sudden, I'm doing it. So what the heck happened? I'm going to tell you what to look for on your Firefox coming up next on Compute This.
Now you can configure and purchase laptops, desktops, tablets, and more, all at the new SchrockInnovations.com. Check out our specials for one-of-a-kind discounts and deals. In 1798, Eli Whitney's Connecticut Musket Factory was the first business in North America to use replaceable parts in a firearm. Before Eli's factory, if your musket broke, you had to send it away to an expert gunsmith for repairs, or just toss it and buy a new musket. Technology manufacturing has come a long way since the 18th century, but you wouldn't know it by looking at today's big box store computers. Dell, HP, Sony, and other manufacturers continue to take away your freedom to upgrade and repair your computer by eliminating expansion and repair options. Some desktops are even powered by a tiny laptop adapter. Schrock Innovations believes in Eli Whitney's idea of interchangeable and replaceable components, and that's why our custom-built modular computers last longer and cost less to repair than computers you see at big box stores. Ask your friends and family how often they replace their box store computers, and they'll probably tell you every couple of years. And what do they do with the old machines? They just get thrown out like broken muskets. Imagine a place where your computer's problems can be fixed quickly and inexpensively. Imagine keeping your computer for 6 years or more. You are imagining the kind of computers we build every day at Schrock Innovations. Our modular systems last longer, perform faster, and cost less over the long term than anything you can buy at a big box store. While the talented technicians at Schrock Innovations can't make you a musket even if they tried, our commitment to the freedom offered by modular computers is the modern-day extension of Eli's innovative musket factory. We think Eli Whitney would be proud, and you can take pride in owning a small piece of American innovation, the modular computer from Schrock Innovations. Compute this pro tip 843. Of all computer failures, the scariest and most expensive is the hard drive. But there are some steps you can take to save money and save your data before it's too late. Detecting failures early is important, so install a free utility like Drive Advisor from driveadvisor.com to monitor your hard drive's health and receive warnings when there's a problem. But most of all, hard drive failures happen slowly, so early detection is key to reducing the repair bill. Second, if your hard drive makes any unusual noises, immediately turn off your computer and do not turn it on again. These issues are physical problems, and the more you try to use it, the worse the damage becomes. Remember that most computer repair shops do not have the specialized equipment needed to recover data from a failed drive. Never open your drive or allow anyone else to do so. Opened drives always cost more to recover. Schrock does not charge for data recovery evaluations and quotes, so let the local pros look at your drive before you make any recovery decisions. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company, where we're doing all kinds of crazy stuff lately. Selling computers for $500 when you trade in any old piece of garbage. That was kind of unique. You know, maybe we should have sold them for $600. I don't know. We decided to send out postcards in Lincoln. We wanted to do a test, right? And some of them bled to Omaha for one. I don't know if it's a forward or what happened, but a few of them landed in Omaha for some reason. But we sent out a test market for the ultimate upgrade, and we sent out postcards to Lincoln. And this really stems, guys. I did a stint on radio for a couple weeks, and literally somebody called in the middle of the afternoon and said, "We just love everything that Schrock does. We just wish you were in Lincoln." And that's where we started. We've been there for 24 years, guys. If you don't know we're there by now, we have a major marketing malfunction, right? So then we started looking into it, and we found out that Apple Maps was saying that we were permanently closed. And I don't use Apple. My wife knows where we're located, so she doesn't look up the address. So sure enough, we got that corrected. That was a whoopsie daisy. So we're not permanently closed, obviously. Number two, well, let's reach out and send some postcards and do some things to help increase. So we had a lot of people coming in that hadn't been in for years, coming in with their postcards saying, "Hey, I heard you guys have a computer sale." And we're like, "Yes, we do." So it was just different things that we're doing differently at Schrock, trying some different things out that we haven't tried in a while, and going old school in some of it. Now, you know, one of the challenges we have, like with your subscriptions for your Sophos and your Secure Updater, it's really important you keep a credit card up to date with us and keep it on file. Because when we send you an email, a lot of times it gets scraped to promotions now. And now Cox is starting to filter out automated robocalls, even ones you want to get, like appointment reminders. Those are robocalls. So like your doctor's office calls you. Well, Cox might filter that out as a spam call now. Or Schrock might call you to say, hey, we need an updated credit card for your Sophos renewal or your computer's not going to be protected. And you're just not going to get the call. So, it's getting challenging to reach, to capture customers. And we try to be very respectful about when we capture your attention. Like we don't send you, junk email about stupid things like the rebranding of a corporate services division. We're not going to send the entire company an email about that. But back in the day, way back when Schrock started, maintenance checkups were not called maintenance checkups. They were called the diagnostics. So you'd come and drop your computer off, and for $20, this is 24 years ago, for $20, we would do the diagnostics on your computer. And it wasn't just a diagnostic. We would also fix a lot of things. Your computer would actually run faster when you got it back. And a lot of things we'd fix for free during the diagnostics. Well, at some point along the way, we kind of realized that the diagnostics typically to most people means figuring out what's wrong with something, not actually fixing it or doing something to it. So we changed it and we called it the maintenance checkup. So it's a checkup where we fix some things that are out of whack if they're out of whack, but we check all kinds of different things to make sure everything is good with your computer. From a marketing perspective, it was much more descriptive of what we were doing. And also it communicated the value of what we were doing. Now, on the business side of things at Schrock, we don't talk about business stuff a lot, especially because this is a consumer show. Not a lot of you are business owners, so I don't sit here and try to talk to the 4 business owners that are listening during the radio show. With that said, we have a division called Corporate Services. So what is a corporate service? We have customers that'll call us up and my employees will ask, are you a corporate service client? And they'll say, well, I'm a corporation and I need service, so I guess I am. Yeah, I'm a corporate service client. Like, no, you're not a corporate service client. But that's a special thing. That's like saying you're not a diagnostics, So we're rebranding corporate services to Schrock Business. And it does so much for us because it encompasses everything that we do with business-related stuff. So we can do websites. We can do custom software. We can do business process automation. We can do, of course, computers and computer repair and networks and IT and all the things you get everywhere else. We just hired Jeff away from Dell, and he is our corporate services director now. And I say just, he's been with us for almost 3 months now, but he is just knocking it out of the park. And he probably said it best. He came from an environment at Dell where the expectation for a corporate customer, and I'm thinking like a dentist, that has maybe 5 employees, okay, that they're going to spend $2,000 to $5,000 a month for IT support. That is the expectation that Dell has between hardware, software, services, subscriptions, everything. And so Jeff comes over to Schrock and he's like, you do it for $425 per computer per year? So those 5 employees with 5 computers, I would multiply 5 times 425, and that's what the business pays for an entire year of support. And we're like, yeah, isn't it cool? And he's like, this is nuts. This isn't going to work. I won't have a job in a year. Like this, you're not making enough money to do that. Well, then we went through and showed him the systems that we have in place that we've already designed and developed and how they reduce the cost of IT. And he's starting to see the light. He's like, you know what? If you're going to buy computers and you're going to buy Dell systems that last 18 to 24 months, why wouldn't you buy Schrock systems that last 4 to 6 years instead? Just had a caller, regular residential customer saying, yeah, 4 years in, it's starting to have a couple of hiccups. Well, yeah, 4 years in with no maintenance for 4 years. Wow. Show me a Dell that does that. A modern Dell, don't do that. Modern Toshibas don't do that. Modern Sonys don't do that. Modern HPs do not do that. So Schrock Business. So I went to ChatGPT and I said, ChatGPT, write me a jingle for Schrock Business. Now, remember, so I didn't know what a Schrock Business was because we just rebranded it, right? So I'm going to read you real quick. Here's the jingle. Looking for top-notch IT solutions? Schrock Business has the best resolutions. Our team of experts is ready to serve with services that you deserve. Dr. Seuss has nothing on ChatGPT. Let me tell you. The chorus. Schrock Business, your IT partner of choice. We help you focus on growth, not IT noise. From network setup to data protection, partner with us for seamless IT connection. Oh, There's a verse 2. Oh, verse 2. No matter what your IT needs may be, we provide solutions customized for thee. Get the Shakespeare on. We know what it takes to keep your tech secure. With Schrock Business, your success is ensured. Now, ChatGPT didn't kick this out on the first draft for me. The first draft came out, it's like, hire Schrock Business or your computers will die. And I was like, ooh, that's kind of threatening. Like, all your base are belong to us kind of nastiness. We don't want that. So, it's like, change that. And it's like, Schrock Business will help your business. I'm like, you can't say business twice in the same line. That doesn't. It's 5 words and 2 of them are the same. Come on. And it's like, Schrock Business will help your organization. I'm like, oh, come on. So you have to coach it along a little bit. But I mean, it wrote a little jingle, right? So even ChatGPT can figure out how to rebrand something, and it's about time. By the way, I would love to take credit for the obvious decision to rebrand Corporate Services into Schrock Business, but it was 100% the lovely Kimberly. Literally, she's like, why don't we call it that? And it was like a mic drop moment where I'm like, son of a motherless goat. Why didn't I think of that? Oh, my gosh. 888-250-2091. Paul, welcome to the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Yeah, good morning, Thor.
Good morning.
Every time I log into my computer, I had Secure Updater installed on my computer.
Okay.
Now when I log into my computer, it says your trial subscription has expired. Click here to renew now. Okay. And how do I get rid of that? Because I'm supposed to have it installed on my computer.
Oh, so you're supposed to have a subscription for it.
I had it installed recently on my computer, and it's like
okay.
I keep getting a notification to renew. But
right. So whenever we install Secure Updater on a computer, everybody gets a 14-day free trial. And then after 14 days, you have to subscribe to it or the trial ends. Now, if you paid to subscribe to it, your subscription should have kicked in automatically after 14 days. If that didn't happen, if you give us a call in one of the service centers, we don't have to remote into your computer to fix this. We can do this right over the phone. I would do it here for you, but I have to ask you for some personal details that you probably, Paul, you sound like a strapping young man. If we start sharing your contact information on the air, all the ladies on the show, all those single ladies are going to start calling you, and it could get a little uncomfortable. So we'll just save you from that, and we'll just do it. We'll just call into one of the service centers, and what we can do is basically get your email address from you, pop it into the system, check it out. There's 2 reasons this happens. Number 1, either the trial never converted to a paid subscription, and if that's the case, I apologize. We can get that converted for you. Number 2 is if your computer got a specific type of update called a BIOS update. Back when we built Secure Updater, nobody did BIOS updates. You were a geek if you did them. Now they're delivered to you through Windows Update in some cases, automatically. And if you get one of those updates, it basically changes the signature, the identity of your computer. And so sometimes Secure Updater thinks that it's a different computer, that you got a new machine. And then we just basically disable your old subscription and allow it to go to the new computer. So there's a lot of really easy fixes for this, Paul, but we just need to do it in the service center, because if I do it on the air, like I said, you're going to get all kinds of marriage proposals and other stuff. Trust me, it happens.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. All right. So I noticed the other day when I got my Firefox, I was doing show prep yesterday, and I opened up my Firefox and I went to go search for something, and normally I use Duck, and it was popping up in Yahoo. I got a Firefox update, guys, and as part of that update, with all those new features we told you about last week, what they didn't tell you was that they changed your search settings. So you can change them back if you want to. If you click on the little hamburger menu in the top right corner, go down to settings, there's an option for search, and you can check from the drop down. It's set to Yahoo now. You can set it to Google if you want Google. You can also set it to Duck if you want Duck. Yahoo pays them to change it. They're a nonprofit. They need the money. I get it. I don't mind the settings change. I just wish they had told me. Al, congratulations. You've got yourself a $25 Schrock Innovations gift card. Stay tuned on Facebook.com/Schrock Innovations for the After Schrock, and we'll see you all next week for another edition of Compute This.
From the Amish Furniture of Nebraska studio, your home for made in the USA furniture. This is News Radio 1110 KFAB Omaha.